Foster throws middle. It's picked off.
Hayward against Davis. It's stolen by Green. Here's Kuzma. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist.
Yo, this is Mr. Glass, and welcome to the GLASSHouse.
All right, see?
Should have never gave that track up.
See, time to rearrange us now.
Still the greatest theme in podcast history.
Yeah.
Let's rock out here, man. We are
My
the
man.
GLASSHouse, man. This is your boy, Mr. Glass, Dizzy, the V, D-Ray, and we have a special guest today, my man Jarvis Sheffield. As you see, his tag is Black Science Fiction Society. So
Oh, yeah.
that should tell you a lot about what we're going to talk about today.
Yes,
But
indeed.
I will have Mr. Sheffield explain to you what he's about himself, as I often do with all of our guests here.
Okay, thanks for that introduction. I'm just an all-around nerd. Been one for many years now, since I was a little kid, and was forced to watch Star Trek and shows like that. The original Star Trek when I was a kid.
Yes.
Because that's what my older brothers were watching, so that's what I was going to watch too. So I kind of was influenced by technology in those films, and that kind of shaped my trajectory in life. So I like everything that's technology and science fiction. And with that said, I ended up founding Black Science Fiction Society 14 years ago. It was a bunch of, I think we started with about 20 nerds from different groups, e-groups and Yahoo groups. And we just kind of forged this community, and this grew over the last years. We were able to do a magazine for probably about almost 10 years. We had a radio show. We kind of put that on hold after COVID hit. We were able to put out 2 anthologies of science fiction. And it's just a big community of people that like Black people that like science fiction, and our friends, people that like Black people, the people that want to see Black science fiction, something different from the norm. And it's been wonderful. From that 20 people, we've grown to, I think it's about 6,000 people on the actual website that have registered from around the world and and joined in. We have, let's see, on Black Science Fiction Society on Facebook, we have about 11,000. We also run Afrofuturism Central, which has about 14,000, and Black Comic Creators, which has 23,000. So, so we're good about. We have fun creating spaces for different genres of science fiction.
Nice.
Hey, Glass. Remember what we said before the show, and I was telling you, hey, what you said to Troy? Jarvis just did the same thing. You hear that? So your little bit of Twitch show is all right, but let me show you some stats.
this dude said, "Hey, I see your 22,000.
I see your 22,000.
I read you 23,000.
Now you hold that L.
Yeah, but see, I got 19,000 on TikTok too. All right.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right.
Yeah. What was that?
Oh boy.
All right. So we got a lot of statistics to break down there, but the first thing I want to ask you is what inspired you to create this? Because you said it's grown unbelievably, but what was the original thing you were like, you know what, I want to try this?
Okay. It was a culmination of a couple of things. I was watching some movie with my son. I think he was like 6 or 7. I think he was 7 at the time. And he asked me like, "Dad, why are the bad guys black people?" And that was he kind of snuck me with that one. So I had to go through a whole big thing about racism and things of that nature. And I was like, I really want to do something about it. And then around that same time, President Obama was ascending at that point. So I was like, man, I didn't think he was going to win, but go for him. But in all seriousness, I felt like black people needed better in the science fiction genre, because we always at that point, most of the roles that we had were sidekick roles and stereotypical stuff. That's not something you want your kids to identify with. And so I knew that there were black comics out there, because me and my college friends would go to the Great Estate comic book store and spend all our work study money on comics. So Milestone and Ania and other random comic books. So we knew that there were black comic books out there, black movies and black films and things of that nature. But you had to sift through so much to find it. So what we decided to do was create a community and put all the stuff there where it was easy to find in one place. And so the content management system that we use is Ning, and it is interactive like Facebook. You can post stuff, you can start a blog, you can do forums, all that kind of stuff right on this site. So it made it what's called sticky, so it keep people engaged. And so it kind of grew over time, and it's been a wild ride. I've been able to go to dozens of black cons that most people don't even know exist, because it's pretty much a big hive mind, like I said, of people from around the world, around the country. And someone may know about a convention in Detroit, so they'll post that in the calendar. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was there. And then got one in Atlanta, got one over in Philly. So that's how we found out about all these different events. And so before COVID hit, I averaged about 10 or 12 cons a year. So we would go and sell comic books, not comic books, I'm sorry, magazines, the 2 books that we created, and different posters. We have like about 20 different posters, and all of the work is done by members of the site. And so it's just been a good way to connect with other black nerds around the world and those that love us. And so I'm loving it.
So where can we find your magazines and your comic books and everything like that?
Okay, I try to centralize everything on the website at blacksciencefictionsociety.com. If you go there, you have links to all of the stuff that I'm talking about.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I encourage you guys to post your shows in the calendar, and I can share those out to all of the members.
Oh, it is given to you.
That sounds lovely. I appreciate that.
Hey, are the membership dues expensive? Because I don't know if anybody told you, but Blast don't have that kind of a budget.
We ain't got that budget.
We
working on it, but we ain't there yet.
A lot of followers, no budget. So,
hey, I understand. We're shoestring budget, have always been shoestring budget. That's like that. But if membership is free, we have another tier where if you want to donate, you can do this automated option, and you'll be the first to get any new stuff that comes out. You'll get first dibs at it.
Okay.
So it's kind of like almost like a Patreon kind of deal.
You get alerted of that ahead of anybody else.
Man, y'all about to be tired of me. I've been looking for y'all. Y'all about to be tired.
Me too, man. Because I'm telling you, I'm from New York, and a lot of people from where I'm from, if you're black and you like, techie things or science fiction stuff or high fantasy things, you're like, yeah, I don't, he's over there doing that. That's my cousin, man. I don't know him.
They kind of look at you like a space alien.
Yeah, you weird, man. That's what they say.
So we're in good company here on Black Science Fiction.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right, D-Ray, you got any questions for my man Jarvis? Or should I just keep going?
No, I got a few.
All right.
You will keep on going, Mr. Glass. So Brother Jarvis, my first question to you is, when you were growing up, who was an author or what was a book that sort of, I guess, represented the spark. You know what I mean? Everybody has that one thing that's just like, oh, that's cool. That's really cool. So what was it that so got you on the path?
Oh, he's in the Matrix.
He's in the Matrix.
Okay, it was for me. It was a couple of things. Because when I was younger, I did not like to read. I did not like reading. I had math, science, everything else down, and you had to force me to read. But what ended up happening, I actually was I think it was the 5th grade. I was actually in a slow. They took me out of regular class and put me with the slow kids for English and reading, and so I wasn't really academic at that time. But what ended up happening, my cousin Corey McDonald, shout out to him. That's my my alter ego. We both are the same age and he ended up liking comics. He was Spider-Man, Daredevil type dude, and I like X-Men and stuff. So we ended up just gelling together and sharing comics and reading the comics and comparing stuff and all that. And so if you're reading comics, they have some big words in there. You just can't skip over the big words. So you end up learning, expanding your vocabulary, and that ended up being the thing that changed my life. So for me, it was actually comics, X-Men, Spider-Man, all that kind of stuff. And then on the other end, my brothers, like I said earlier, my brothers ended up watching, which all of them, they're 10 and 12 years older than me. I'm the baby. And so I ended up watching what they watched, which was my favorite Martian, Star Trek, Land of the Giants, and stuff like that. And so I kind of have a dual thing with TV and with comics. And in the world of movies, it was Star Wars, Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
I could really
Lando Calrissian.
It was cool, man. He was cool in real on regular movies, but he was super cool in Star Trek. So I was like, man,
He had the nicest perm in the galaxy.
Hey, you know what's really interesting about to me about Billy D. Williams taking that role back then was he was the only one. If you think about Black actors in that time who played, high profile science fiction type roles, I don't really know of anybody else. That was a great leap for him.
But the joke, the running joke had always been, if you were Black and in a science fiction movie, you wasn't gonna last for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes because they was gonna send you down that long dark corridor and you wasn't gonna come back. So.
Yeah, that was a prevailing stereotype that has still perpetuated to this day, but it's varied somewhat. We have a lot of other roles, but that's one that's still prevalent. And say you watch any low budget film, you can just count the Black guy out because he's about to get it within the first 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. The only one that I remember, I think I talked about this a couple episodes ago, was Deep Blue Sea. You swore.
I love that movie.
You swore that Samuel L. Jackson, you know what? He'll probably make it to the last 3. And LL Cool J, he's fitting to go right away. He ain't gonna make
the trick.
It ain't gonna be good.
Oh man, that forever took about 5 years out of my life. Right. how fast he got snatched up like that.
To this day, I don't understand who okayed that use of the budget. Like, you know what? Let's get Samuel L. Jackson and have him do about 3 minutes of on-screen time. That's the best use of our budget possible.
I know what. I remember being in watching it in the movie theater, and all of my friends was like, now, if LL Cool J died in this movie, we rioting.
All right, so
just about to go up in flames.
I cannot cook breakfast without thinking of that movie because of the LL Cool J bit where he's like trying to leave his memo in case he dies, and he chooses to leave the message of how to make the perfect omelet.
Love it.
And now every time I'm making eggs, in my head I'm seeing LL Cool J in Deep Blue Sea.
You thinking about that? That's
okay, right. Jarvis.
Yeah.
Static Shock or Black Lightning, and why?
Oh, Now that's a tough one because I've been a Black Lightning fan myself in
Okay.
comics because he was like one of the first ones that I was able to see. But then my son has everything on in the planet on Static Shock. And he played the DVD over and over. I think.
See, we like to
man,
hit you with the good ones on the Glass House now.
yeah, that's almost I would almost say a tie, but I'm gonna stick with my boy Black Lightning because I've been with him longer.
Okay.
Lena's
In the show,
Paris was
She has
I actually
Castle.
like,
I'm Static Shock as well, Lena. You know what I mean?
I
That's
actually
my
like
boy.
the implementation of the show as well.
Okay, so since you want to go there, Glass, I got one for Mr. Jarvis.
Okay.
Luke Cage or the Falcon?
See, there you go. Y'all doing the tough ones. Oh, man.
I like the Falcon.
Oh, again, I knew about Luke Cage longer, and I loved his show. It was off the chain. And,
Oh,
That
that
shit
Netflix
was-
series was amazing.
That soundtrack was slamming.
oh yeah, I like
Goodness.
Falcon, and I like the fact that he's in the role that he's in. But I'm gonna stick with Luke because
I'm gonna go Luke Cage as
his
well.
comics were cool, and then they improved the character in the TV show. They took some of the kind of jive stuff out, and just was really had everything like he was just cool.
Even the actor that they had to play Luke Cage, I think he's a great actor, and he was a perfect, Power Man in
Great
my
choice.
opinion.
Great
Oh, yeah.
choice for the role. Yes.
Yeah, hopefully they'll bring him back in some form or fashion. And then
I
I'm
believe
told,
it's coming around.
that they got something cooking
Yeah,
with all of those guys that were on the Netflix shows that they may do something on Disney Plus. I'm told. I'm not fitting to confirm, but I've been reading some things.
Yeah,
Glass said.
You're right. Mr. Glass told me.
yeah, and he's also Michael Coulter. He's also in Evil, which I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yes,
Season
yes.
of that. And I forget the title of it. There was a Halo series or movie. I forget if it's a series or a movie.
It's a TV series.
I still gotta dive into that.
It's a TV series.
And new one is good, too.
That
It's
TV
good.
series is the bomb for real.
I really
Now,
want to check it out.
Ray, I have to ask. The TV series is still ongoing, and you're the only one here that's watched it, I believe, right? Or is
No,
Sure
I've
was.
seen it.
I like
Okay.
I watched.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I got a question. Is he still alive in that show?
he's
He
not
is in
that.
who?
Michael Coulter is not in this. This is a different.
Oh,
whole
a different one.
story.
Okay. I thought you were saying he was on that one. 'Cause I
Well,
don't-
see-
On this
well,
one,
see,
he's
here's
on
the thing.
One of the first ones.
Yeah, here's the thing. In Halo, most of the black people survive. Was I supposed to say that?
Hey, that's
Look,
information we
and that's
need to
one
know.
thing. It's very surprising. I was like, hold up, this is different.
The future is
Hey, look.
definitely different.
And look at here. Let me tell you something about Halo. There was some people taking some really serious L's. They was taking some serious like blink, and you missed L's.
Oh yeah,
You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
That's
for
hilarious.
and for there to be some good some black folks to be in on the last episode,
Yep.
we have overcome at least that show.
We made it.
We made it.
So, Mr. Jarvis, I wanted to ask you, could you explain your involvement with DragonCon and what were you able to bring to it?
Okay, cool. DragonCon is like the my phone listened to me. No, shut up. DragonCon is like the biggest fan operated sci-fi and multimedia convention in the world. And 5 years ago, I was brought in to manage and operate the diversity track. And so with the diversity track, we make sure that everyone is brought under the umbrella, whether you're gay or handicapped or old or black, white, Spanish, Chinese, everything. So we try to have everyone under the tent and have a voice and have so that everyone has a great time. When I was did the first one, it was a guy that stood up. Well, him and his brother had been coming to DragonCon for probably, I think he said 27 years at that point. And
Wow.
he was like, we have been wanting this since the beginning to have representation, and it's finally here. And he was teared up, but I almost teared up with him because I was like, well, I'm glad that we were able to facilitate that and be a part of it. So we have cool stuff to do. We have stuff with comics, with movies, with TV, cosplay. We even participate in the parade. We have parties. I think Thursday, is it Thursday or Friday? One of those nights we have like a huge party. Um, we have like some smaller parties, like a game night. We have a art party where you draw, where you paint. We have a drawing sketch party where you sketch. Try to do some cool stuff. And so,
That's awesome.
yeah. And so we started that first year. I think we had participation of about 2,500 people. The next year we had about 5,000. And then, and then COVID hit, and out of the 8,000 that DragonCon normally gets, that 5,000 is just my little section. So we generally do about 30 different events, like 4 parties, 20 something panels. We have some exhibitions, and we even have speakers that come in. Like last year, what's his name? I'm losing my train of thought. Oh, he was doing Enemy Mine. What's his name? Baldhead. Anybody see Enemy Mine?
Louis Gossett.
Louis Gossett Jr. He was there. We've had Stephen Barnes, a writer for. He's written for like Star Trek and Twilight Zone and things of that nature. He was our Grand Marshal one year. And this year, I think we have. What's her name? Nitty Okafor. She's our main person this year. So I've been having a wonderful time doing this and trying to facilitate, making sure, like I said, we have spaces for everyone to be under the umbrella.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. So before you say something, Mr. Glass, because I see you getting ready, I want to just show a little smidget of DragonCon. Some of the cosplay is just unbelievable. This is only 30 seconds, so let's check it out. Phenomenal.
Yeah. If you ever get the chance to go, please do. It's like, I don't know how many of you have seen the movie Ready Player One, but Ready Player One is what is like DragonCon. So when you walk into the spot, it takes up 5 hotels downtown. Dang. When you walk into those hotels, it's like Ready Player One. Everywhere you look, it's characters from every show that you've ever seen, and then you have mashups of stuff that are hilarious.
That's awesome. I think I got a new bucket list item. I got.
DragonCon has been on my list for a while. Like it's in the States, so it's a bit more of a trip for me. I mostly for my cons, I go to the FanX in Toronto and the Comic-Con in Ottawa. But DragonCon is definitely up there. It's on my to-do list.
So all I'm saying, Dizzy, is if you go, I'm going too.
You're gonna come with me?
That's right. We gonna do this.
I'm gonna take it another level. GLASSHouse needs to go.
I'm with that.
What I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm with that.
That would be large.
It's life changing. You will go.
Field trip.
You'll be there, and it really doesn't stop. You have parties and
you already know, AP.
That they don't start the party till 2 a.m.
What? Like I always say, like the beauty at cons, like the reason I like to go is like even if you're packed shoulder to shoulder, it's hot, you know, people are sweaty, they don't smell fresh, but everyone is there because they love things and they're enthusiastic about them, they're passionate about them. So no one cares about the inconveniences. They just want to all like enjoy the fact that they're celebrating all this nerd stuff together. And like so they're like it could be the most miserable conditions, but those will be the nicest people in the world because they just want to be there and have fun with people who think the stuff that they think is cool is also cool. You know?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's see where we
I'm just look. Can you give us press passes? Because see that way, I can say that it's work.
I would if I could, but you need to contact the higher ups, and it may actually happen.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna tell them
Get
you
it
and
in,
all you and all
early.
50,000 of your followers recommended me. That's what I'm gonna say.
Listen, Lena, like we don't like to talk about it, but it's there, okay? It's there.
I mean, think about all the makeup and sometimes the extended
The makeup and the
things that are on you and everything like that. I mean, it's got to be hot.
yeah, like I don't know how
I'm
it is
getting
there, but like at the FanX that I go to, it's in August in Toronto in the middle of the city. Like
Wow.
it is hot.
I'm gonna just get. Look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just gain a little weight, right?
DragonCon is kind of in hotels, so it's climate control. So that's not
Oh.
as big a deal.
That's
So you
nice.
may-
That's better.
yeah, but when you come out and if you're in the parade, yeah, it's hot. I've been in that parade. And the sun will melt you.
See, this is what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna gain a little weight. I'm gonna shave my head like all the way, right? And I'm gonna just go as the Black Wilson Fisk. I'm good. What? No?
Just nuts.
No?
I would pay to see that. I will buy the costume.
All I need is a little tie, a little suit, you know what I'm saying? And enough, we're good.
D-Ray disapproves.
I was waiting for the D-Ray comment, man. Where's it at?
He's just shaking his head. That's
We saw the
enough.
face. We saw the face.
No, I'm busy trying to get this graphic that I just saw that I got surprised about, but then I got distracted because I was like, he's going as what?
Kingpin.
Okay, so is that or like a Moogle from Final Fantasy? I'd rather be the Black Wilson Fisk, right? That's where we're going.
I like
What
it.
else is this small, bro?
That
You
is-
can't do
got
it.
it.
Yeah,
I
between,
like
you're
it.
like it's either
Ooh.
Kingpin or a Moogle. Like I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like
but
there were some
that's pretty much
extremes
it.
there. Like there was a bit of a leap.
I mean, what do you want from me?
Here we
What do
go,
you want
man.
So let me go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and do our Blast Artist of the Week, and then we'll come back with Mr. Jarvis.
Right.
And the Blast Artist of the Week is my boy Elijah Rosario, and this is called Aura.
Should've known, baby. Should've known, baby. Should've known, baby. Should've known. Should've known. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you. Wanna get to know you. By the way you work those hills, you'll be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you. Wanna get to know. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you. Wanna get to know. By the way you work those hills, you'll be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you. Wanna get to know. I'm digging your style. I love it when you smile. Any room you walk into, girl, you always shut it down. Got a Coke bottle shape. When you walk, I see it shake. Wanna take it off display. Come and take a ride with me. Girl, if you just give me time, I'll enhance your mind. If I brought you flowers for no reason, would you mind? Make love just how you want it. Cook breakfast every morning. Before you go to work, we get it poppin', got you moaning. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you. Wanna get to know you. By the way you work those hills, you'll be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you. Wanna get to know. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. By the way you work those hills, you be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. I need you in my life, 'cause the way you make me feel, all these butterflies. I said I want you as my own, please let it be known I'm chasing you. 'Cause I follow you through heaven and hell just to be close to you. It's all I wanna do, 'cause you know it's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know you. By the way you work those hills, you be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know you. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. By the way you work those hills, you be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, 'cause it's your, 'cause it's your. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know you. By the way you work those hills, you be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. It's your mind, it's your wave, it's your aura. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know. By the way you work those hills, you be dressed to kill. Wanna get to know you, wanna get to know.
That's our boy.
That was on point.
See, now we're on the wrong place again.
Yep.
I'm trying. I don't need your help. Stop it.
This is like the fight of the admins. Like
You were in the black hole, man. Anyway, that was Elijah Rosario. That's his song Aura. And if you are an independent artist looking for exposure, or even a comedian that's up and coming, go ahead and go to blastmusic247.com. You can register for free, fill out your whole profile, which is your stage, and there it is. You are a part of Blast. So, blastmusic247.com. And what do you got, Mr. Glass?
Changing the game, one artist at a time.
And we'll take it.
I was about to say that wasn't it, but that worked.
Exactly.
I mean, it's changing the industry one artist at a time, but like,
We're
mine's better.
gamers.
Mine's better.
artistic license, D-Ray.
We're just gonna do it the way I wanted to do it because it's my show, D-Ray.
But you not.
Oh,
Yeah, I
black
put
hole.
it in the Matrix too.
He
I put
put
it in the Matrix. I am Morpheus. Change my title to Morpheus.
Okay, I lost my
That's
temper.
even cosplay as you can be Morpheus.
I lost my temper. Don't.
Oh no!
Sorry, Jarvis. This
No,
is
it's okay.
this is typically how
All right.
We did warn you.
Mhm.
Yeah, we did. You know what I'm saying, Lena? Come on now. Like what?
So
Okay.
go ahead. We got company, y'all.
Wow, dude, you scratching really, really loud, dude.
You know this mic pick up everything, and I was just brushing my shirt off.
Like
was
you
a
could
little-
attack my
I was a
fleas or
little
something,
worried about you, bro.
I was literally brushing my shirt off.
I thought you was getting
Yeah.
attacked, bro. I thought it was over. I was gonna have to call somebody for you. It was rough.
Hey, Jarvis, let me ask you a question. When it came down to all the different James Bonds that there were, who was your favorite?
Shoot.
Who appealed to you the most?
Oh, I got a follow-up question on this too.
Oh,
got it.
I'm not a real James Bond fanatic. So all of them on the same level with me.
Okay, so here's my follow-up
Until
question.
Idris becomes James Bond.
That's
There
what
you
I
go.
was gonna ask. Here's my
It ain't
follow-up
what happened, but it's a good thought.
Here's my follow-up.
No.
Why do you think there's so much backlash against Idris Elba becoming James Bond? Because in reality, when you think about James Bond, he is a perfect choice for James Bond, other than the fact that his skin color looks a little different.
But then
Everybody's
again,
smooth, British, very suave. You know what I mean? All ladies love the dude. Like, it's just what it is. He's that kind of guy. So where is it going wrong for them?
hey, Hollywood ain't trying to hear that.
I could not disagree more, and I don't want Idris to be James Bond.
Why?
Who do you think?
I want some up and coming young screenwriter, fiction writer, to create a character for Idris that is original, that's all his own. That we need more characters. We just don't need black ones. You know, we need different ones.
I agree with that.
So and to me, after all of this time, Idris being James Bond would just be more like pandering to me.
So I have a question to sort of build onto that. Have you seen who they announced is the new Doctor? And am I the only one that follows Doctor Who?
Right.
Yeah,
I saw that.
So, like, the woman, her reign is coming to an end, and now they've announced the new Doctor. So, in like the whole, you think that sort of putting Idris into that role is pandering. How do you feel about putting this gentleman into the role of Doctor? I'm sorry, I can't say his name, or I would read it.
I think it's plausible because the Doctor, he changes bodies. They changed from male to female, so it's I don't see a problem with him changing races at this point. And then I think I actually saw one of the episodes where the black lady is really a doctor, but she was like the first doctor before they start calling them doctors. She's like the genetic. I think they took her genetic material and created the Time Lords.
I must have missed that episode. To be honest, I haven't watched a lot of the most recent series with the woman, but
I think she has like dreadlocks. They kind of are up, not the big long ones, and she has like this pattern print. But it was real interesting watching that episode.
I'll have to go back and look for it. I love Doctor Who. But no, I was just wondering because you said that about James Bond, and I'm pretty excited about the new Doctor. So I didn't know if you would feel sort of the same way.
I'm good. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
I think I agree more with Lena. She said the definitive Bond was Roger Moore. I agree. Idris should have been Bond. Angela Bassett should have been Storm. They waited too late. And you know what? Maybe that's my problem. Because I still haven't forgiven Halle Berry for taking that part.
Okay, time out.
No. What you're not going to do is tell me time out. And I was in the middle
back
of
in the Matrix, Glass.
Wait.
Put me back in the Matrix.
Hold on. You're saying that Halle Berry should not have been Storm.
I'm saying it with my chest. And all that is holy.
I just want to ask you, is that your wife talking or?
No, that's me.
I just wanted to make sure because
I should have brought popcorn.
Your wife would definitely not want you looking at Halle Berry on the screen. So I just thought that maybe she put that thought into your head. That's all.
I have.
You gotta check. See, look, you gotta check.
No. Because what I was about to say, I was like, I can't say that in front of my daughter. However, my wife knows she'll have to take one for the team if I'm in the presence of Angela Bassett. So,
and Pepper.
And she just got to hold that L for a minute.
Barry. What?
Exactly, Lena.
Okay.
Halle Berry. That was a horrible casting.
Okay, so you're saying that you would rather have seen Angela Bassett as Storm.
Angela Bassett is Storm.
I'm going to tell you one step further who should be the next Storm. And if you say no to this, we might have to fight right on the show. Right now. The next Storm should be Rihanna. Because if you think about the origin
Hell
of Storm,
no.
listen, what is the origin of Storm? Where is she from? Where is Storm from?
Somewhere in Africa.
She ain't from America, right?
Are you seriously leading with this, Glass?
What I'm saying,
are you really doing
We need
this?
to put some like health bars up in the corner of the screen, like
the islands would be a perfect casting for Storm. If you listen to her comic book, like not comic book, but the X-Men cartoon, right? The voice that they had was not an African voice, really. It was somebody from the islands that voiced her character. So if you're looking at her from that specific way, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you're missing one important point. And Jarvis, please excuse us because we do this all the time. You're missing one small thing. Rihanna can't act.
Okay, so here's the thing. One, we don't know if Rihanna can act. Two,
contraire, mon frere.
Yeah.
Back up a little bit. Rihanna was in that movie called Battleship that everybody watched once and never watched again.
Terrible movie, though.
Okay, so she was a terrible actress in a terrible movie.
Wait. If you're telling me that a movie that was written terribly is her fault, I can't go with that. I can't go with that. That was just a bad movie.
Name another movie she's been in, Glass.
She hasn't been in any movies. That's what I'm saying.
There's a reason for that.
No, the reason is because that movie sucked and they haven't found a better role for her yet.
I think she got an F at the actor.
So you're telling me that The Rock is a better actor than The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, the big dude, the giant brother, Black Adam himself.
Is he a better actor?
I'm gonna come back to that Black Adam reference, Jarvis. Don't worry.
Is he a better actor? Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you, in all seriousness,
look what
Dwayne Johnson had to learn how to act. Because if you ever saw him in the first couple movies he was in, Be Cool was one of the first movies I seen him in.
Flag.
He was terrible.
Flag on the play. Oh, wrong show.
This is not Rex.
This is the wrong show.
I think he was on an episode of Voyager.
Wrong show.
All right, so let's get back with Jarvis. Let's get back with Jarvis.
Sorry
what do you think about The Rock's casting in Black Adam? Do you agree with that?
I think that's a good choice because he can act better. He's much better now.
He's better. Thank you. He's better now. Thank you.
He's much better.
Better than that. You heard that, D-Ray? He's better
He
now.
was in an episode of Star Trek Voyager as an alien in a fight ring. But I think that's a good choice. Of just off the rip, he actually kind of looks like the cartoon, and so or the comic. So that's a good pick. Plus, almost anything he's in is going to be a success. So I think a lot of times with the casting of films is not just about the person's acting ability. It's how many eyeballs they're going to bring to the movie, and that's why I think Angela Bassett still. We're going to go back to it. Angela Bassett would have made a better Storm because she actually can act very well and she looks like Storm.
Facts.
She does look like Storm.
Yeah, most of these, a lot of times when we get mad at characters, casting because the characters don't look remotely like what they're supposed to look like based off of where they're from or even how they look in the comic books or cartoons.
Yeah, I give you that. She doesn't. Halle Berry did not look like Storm. I mean, she looked great. She doesn't look like Storm.
So you'll give him that. You'll give him that, but you're gonna fight me.
Oh yeah.
Is this what we're doing?
Expert. He's an expert. He sits on the couch and do this. He does this for a living.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna see you after the show, buddy.
Oh, awesome stuff. So what's the next thing you got going on, Mr. Jarvis? What's in the near horizon?
Oh man, I think I need a whole nother lifetime to do all the stuff that I want to do. But right now, I'm in the process of completing first comic called Earth Squadron. It was written over
Bless you,
12
Dizzy.
years ago, and we published
Thank
it in
you.
our first anthology. Let's see. Our anthology is called Genesis Anthology of Black Science Fiction. It's in here. So
Very
we were
nice.
looking at making it into a 3D film at first, and so we made moves to do that. But first of all, it's very complicated to do, and second, it takes a lot of money to do this kind of stuff. And so we kind of modified the plan, and so the new plan is to make four comics. Well, three will be actual comics, and the fourth book is a source book for the world. It's called Earth Squadron, and the first issue is completed with the exception of putting in the ads and doing the cover. We're going to change. We like the cover we have now, but we're going to borrow a page from Marvel Universe. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. The Marvel Universe comic books from when I was a kid, they would have the history and the powers and background of every superhero and spaceship.
Hmm.
But the cool thing about the series, when you got a new comic, you could flatten the comic book out and connect it to the next one, and it's an ongoing picture. So when you
I did
collected
not know
all of
that.
it, yeah. So when you collected all of them, it was one big picture, and so I'm gonna kind of borrow that from old school from about 30 years ago and put in
That's
this series.
awesome.
Very
So
nice.
we're also adding some animated promos and some augmented reality section. So when you go to a certain page or whatever, you can put a phone up there and something pops up about the
Wow.
character. So trying to do some innovative stuff.
Yeah, that's high tech stuff right there, man.
Yeah, so that's in progress right now, the Earth Squadron comic book, and probably next year we'll do another anthology, and we're looking into possibly bringing the magazine back next year. Because once COVID hit, we kind of put a damper on things and kind of put some things on the shelf for a minute. But we're still moving forward.
Okay, I got a couple of questions,
Uh-huh.
and they're kind of related. So just bear with me, because I really want to get your opinion on it.
Mhm.
So, so Octavia Butler, we all know her as, and all of us should know her as basically the mother of Afrofuturism. Some really great books. Black science fiction writer. In your opinion, they've just announced that Ava DuVernay is attached to a TV series based on some of Miss Butler's work. It's called Dawn.
Mhm.
But beyond that, this is like the first thing that really is going to pop up on TV or in movies. Why do you think it's taking so long for her stuff to be adapted for the big screen?
I'm not sure why. It may have something to do with her estate. When she died before I got a chance to meet her. Unfortunately, she fell and hit her head on her property and passed. So I'm not sure. Generally, when something like that happens, it's something going on with the uh, person holding the reins of the property, the copyrights, and all that stuff. Because she is top notch. I remember she was the one that, outside of the comics, she was the first writer that I latched onto. I was a student at Tennessee State University, and we had a black lit class, and she was the only black science fiction writer. You know, I'm a science fiction guy, so I was like, well, let me go over to the library and check this out. And so I went there. It was a book, didn't even have like a nice cover. It was just like a green book on the shelf. So I started reading it, and I read it from cover to cover. I couldn't put it down. And then I went and got everything else that she had in the library, read that too. So I think it's the estate that's holding that back. But they actually had, it was 20 years ago, because my son's 21. I remember when he was a baby, there was they took one of her stories. I forget the name of it. It was the one where, no, it's Kendrick. They did a audio book, audio reading of that property, and Alfred Woodard did the main character.
Sweet.
So they did something with it, but I was like, man, that's the weakest one. It's not like no, transforming and
Right.
And I'm like, that's the weakest one. Why would they take? I guess because it was the easiest one to do.
Maybe.
And so seeing this new a property come out of doing, I hope that it comes out where I think Ava has the capability of doing it justice. But I really would like to see the Pattern Master series.
Right.
But there were concepts in there that she had before anybody else, before even Star Trek and Star Wars had borrowed ideas from her books. So,
Right. And so that leads to my second question, which Lena had put in the chat a while back. She said, where do you stand on one season hits like HBO's Watchmen and Lovecraft Country? Triggered too much black trauma to be loved by the masses beyond hardcore black sci-fi fans. So I guess what she's saying is, did we scare the other folk with those two shows? Is that why it didn't get renewed? Is that why we only saw they were like one and done? Did we scare too many people?
I think it's not so much a scary folks. I think it's like you have a target audience, and if your target audience is big enough, then you're going to continue to get funding to get your stuff made. It was a thing where Spike Lee was talking about, maybe I heard on Tom Jones Morning Show maybe 10 years ago as I was riding to work. They were talking to Spike Lee about somebody was like, okay, they're making Beloveds and they're making Fridays, but the Fridays keep getting greenlit. What's up with that? He was like, look, Hollywood is a business, and if you have a Beloved that costs $50 and only makes $30, and you have a Friday that costs $5 and they make $20 million off of it, they're gonna keep making Fridays. So I think it's a lot to do with being able to reach your target audience. And then on the other side, everything doesn't have to be made for mainstream. You find your target audience and stick with that. I think if either of those producers or production companies did something on their own, you have more flexibility and you could continue to make that without having to try to reach everyone. But both of those series were great. I only saw a few of the Watchmen, but Lovecraft Country was off the chain.
Absolutely.
It was awesome.
Absolutely. What was your favorite one? What was your favorite episode?
Oh,
I know mine was when she went back when the mom went back in time and now she's Josephine Baker. She's with Josephine Baker and I can't remember her name, but it's the one where she's dancing and stuff. So what was your favorite one?
I think my favorite episode was when the guy was about to get shot and those cops were outside the house, and that monster jumped up out the ground and proceeded to wreck shop. I did not see it happen so fast. I was like, what? Let me rewind this.
For real, yeah.
My favorite scene. I was like, whoa. I had my mouth was just, my jaw was dropped.
Yeah, facts.
Okay, so Lena asks, Jarvis, any advice for young up-and-coming creatives, artists, writers, directors who are trying to break into the sci-fi industry specifically and feel the weight of the proverbial glass ceiling?
I say don't stop. Don't be afraid to start small. I know a lot of young people, including myself, when we came out the box, like we wanted all of this here and we wanted that, but we hadn't paid any kind of dues yet. And so I think it's incumbent that young people stay focused on their goals and put in the work and continue to network with people and find a mentor to help you along. There are a lot of us that are older and we're out here, we're available to be resources for younger people trying to do what we do. You're gonna run into some jerks that are like that are jerks, but don't let that stop you. Keep looking, keep doing what you're doing, and also listen to find someone that's a mentor and learn from them, and actually do what they tell you to do. Because sometimes in the past, even myself, someone that mentored me told me, okay, do this, 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 and this, and then I was like, well, I can skip this and do that, and it didn't work out so well. So listen to your elders, pay your dues, do the work, learn how to make things happen. I'll say, just don't stop. No matter what you do, don't stop. You can slow down, but don't stop if you're really serious about doing whatever it is in a creative fashion.
Love that answer, sir.
Well, I mean, what he said there, and something that I want to make sure I highlight from his message right there. There's no shortcuts, guys.
Right.
If you're dedicated to something and you really, really have that passion for it, take the steps in order. Don't take shortcuts, because a lot of times what you get from the journey is what helps you get to the destination, and you can't get there without every step.
Yeah. I can definitely say I'm one of those type of people that in everything I do, I try to find a shortcut. and you know, our website finally hit 1 year tomorrow, and it's like already. So we're just blown away that we've been doing podcast after podcast after podcast, and boom, here it is, a year already, and we've seen the growth. We met a lot of wonderful new faces and people along the way to the journey, but there was no way I would have gotten here if I took those shortcuts. We had to grind that puppy out.
Yeah. And let me say this before I forget. Yeah,
Sure.
Like I said, we've been doing Black Science Fiction Society for 14 years, and I've seen a lot of people come and go. And the ones that have stuck with their writing, stuck with their art, stuck with their animation or whatever they're doing big stuff now. Some of these people getting things picked up by Netflix. Some of these people getting picked up by Simon and Schuster. Some of these people getting picked up by these big companies now because they stuck with what they were doing. They honed their craft to be good at it, and along the way, they have kept their nose clean and just grew over time. And so, some of the people that, like I said, after 10 years, they grinded for a solid 10 years without a lot of recognition and stuff, and they're starting to reap the benefits of it now.
Mm-hmm.
And likewise with Black Science Fiction Society, I wouldn't have gotten the gig with DragonCon, or I don't think I would have anyway, with DragonCon or with the Nebula Awards, which I won a Solstice Award last year. If I hadn't put in the time and the effort and network with people and made real friendships, not just I'm gonna go network and get this people card and see what I can get out of them. No, you take time and get to know people and support their stuff, as well as asking for their support for yours.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to be the first to say, you got a friend in me, but most of all, you have something that I craved for Blast. Even though we are Black owned, we desire for diversity.
Mm-hmm.
We demand diversity because the world is not one color; it's multicolored, and we want to reflect that in the music as well. That we want people of all different genres and flavors and cultures to come to Blast to showcase their different sounds of music. We want music that we didn't even put in a genre list. You know what I'm saying? We want to be that diversified. So just of diversification, and I know that's another time you and I can talk about this.
Oh, that's cool.
I definitely want your input to help us with that.
Oh, real quick. I picked this up from one of my mentors, Churchill Only, who started the first Black convention, Black Age of Comics, out of Chicago. I met him my first year out at a convention in Atlanta called Onyx Con, and I borrowed something from him in terms of what we create. What we create is for everybody. It has a centralized focus. It's open for everybody, though. He explained it like you have Mexican food, you have Asian food, you have Italian food. You know what's on the menu, but it's for everybody. 'Cause we
Right.
can all learn from each other. So keeping that perspective is definitely beneficial. And also on the flip side, being diverse is what we're all shooting for. But with the industry, I urge people to push the industry to do what they're supposed to do in terms of representation. But then also, on the other hand, make sure that you're doing some independent stuff. That you're making the stuff that you want to see.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. All right, fellas, we hit that 1 hour mark.
No, I
Oh,
swear
man, too
you
quick.
are no. Something's wrong with Troy's clock. I like to complain every week. All right, something wrong with that clock because
I
no
think
way
we're in a
that was an hour.
time loop over here or something. Multi-dimensional.
We just went to the Twilight Zone, guys. Skip
Multiverse or
time.
something here.
You know,
Morpheus Glass did it. He put us all in the Matrix.
Hey man, I'm just saying, The Matrix was like my favorite sci-fi thing that I've ever watched. The first trilogy of The Matrix. So yeah, I'll be that.
So D-Ray, what would you like to say on the way out, sir?
This has been a great show. I'm looking forward to joining the Black Science Fiction Society.
Yeah, get it while it's free.
And what'd you say?
Get it while it's free.
Yeah, hey, look, that's right within Blast budget. Appreciate that. But all right, man, thanks. It was a pleasure meeting you, sir.
Likewise.
Miss Dizzy, what do you got to say?
I just think this was really cool. Like, I was really interested to find out, like, working with like the DragonCon, and I think it's awesome that I'm gonna check out the books that you're talking about. Like,
Cool.
I'm always looking for new books to read.
Oh, anything by Octavia Butler, but definitely the Pattern Master series.
Someone send me a link.
He said, "Send me a link."
Send me a link. I'm always looking for stuff to read. I spend all my time reading
Cool.
when I'm not gaming.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Jarvis. All right, Mr. Glass, it's on you, my brother.
Okay, so I want to echo. I appreciate your time, Mr. Sheffield. I appreciate what you do for the. And I gotta say this for the culture, man, because really, African Americans don't really have a place to go and nerd out. You know what I mean? And you're giving that to a segment of the population who probably desperately needs it, because guess what? Just as much as sports can take people out of really tough situations and put them into a different mode, so can science fiction and everything, so high fantasy, all this other stuff. It can take you from a really bad situations where you could be outside doing extremely negative things, or you could be inside reading the comic book and relaxing.
It's just a really good way to escape shit, right?
It really is. It really is very important. And I had a friend of mine, real quick before we get off the air. I had a friend of mine from Baltimore. This guy used to play a game with me called Final Fantasy 11. I'm going to try to tell the story as fast as I can. So this guy was in the absolute worst place there is in Baltimore, Maryland. There was at one point about 4 or 5 deaths a day in his county alone. And he told me one time, he goes, "You know what, Vic? I really appreciate the fact that you're helping me get all this stuff done in this game, because if I didn't have other people to help, I'd be out there doing that stupid stuff just like these other people, because that's what my brothers is doing and my cousins is doing and all of this stuff. But I'm not like them. I'm kind of a nerd. And you know what? Deep down, we're all nerds. And it's time to
not that deep for some of us.
It's
like I've seen some backgrounds. Like, I see stuff on a bookshelf and you see stuff on my shelf, and this is a gaming podcast. We are all not very deep nerds.
There you go. I know we got to get out of here, but I just wanted to tell that story and connect it, because I think it's important to give people an escape that may be different than sports. Not everybody's an athlete. Some people like to do other things. So I believe what you're doing is very important, Mr. Sheffield, and I thank you.
And thank you so much. You guys and people like you is fuel to keep me doing what I'm doing. I love this stuff. It's been needed for so long, and I happen to be that tool to actually bring it to people. Or one of them anyway.
I know we're about to close it out, but what do y'all
What?
What?
I don't
think that-
understand what I'm looking at.
I think that's one of.
Like,
That's raw
I think
as
that's Submariner who's gonna be.
Oh,
the bad
Namor,
guy
right,
in the
okay.
movie.
I
that's
have
Namor.
vaped too much this episode to understand what you are putting in front of me there.
okay, so that's Namor the Submariner.
Yeah,
Well,
who's
I
the
think
actor?
that's him.
And what they're saying is that he's gonna factor heavily into Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
I
Okay.
think Wakanda and Atlanta's gonna be beefing.
Oh, I love
His
that.
ears pointy.
You know what? Because he's the Submariner, girl. What? Come on now.
Okay, you know what? Now it's time to roll the credits.
He is not an elf. He is
Dizzy
the
done hit a
Submariner.
laugh spike. Oh well.
We are off the cliff. We are off the cliff.
We done ran off the track.
We are literally Thelma and Louise right now.
All right, we just
I
gotta
was-
stay on top focus for 30 seconds, guys.
I was waiting for Dizzy to ask if that's the new Black Panther. I was just-
It was a setup.
it was a setup.
You're not gonna Akbar me, sir. I knew that would not be.
Said Namor took stone from T'Challa.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Wait, yeah, that was the thing, wasn't it?
If
yeah,
I'm
well,
correct.
Oh,
Yep.
Hmm.
Anyway,
You'll be.
All right, focus.
that will be available. Is it next February?
No,
Is that when or is it
thought-
next summer?
I know. I thought I saw December of this year.
I think it's this year.
Ooh,
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, guys, thanks again for hanging out with your crew. You know how we do, and we appreciate you so much. Everybody, please be safe. And GG, my
GG,
G.
my G.
GG,
Yeah,
my
thank
G.
you so much.
We love you guys. Be careful.
Yo, this is Mr. Glass, and welcome to Glass House.